Hello and welcome back, folks. I am the Lone Adventurer. Thank you very much for finding your way to my channel and to my latest video, which is on a Kickstarter game that was delivered quite recently, a print and play Kickstarter game that was only a couple of dollars to back, and it is called Deathly Thrones, and it's a sort of a dungeon delving procedurally generated game where you use cards to represent the different stats and to allow you to progress through a variety of little stories. So this here is the core rules, and this is one of the adventures that was supplied with my pledge. I think there are like 7 or 8 little adventures of varying degrees of difficulty. This is a beginner level adventure, and this is the rulebook. I think I said that already. Now, what I'm going to do, I think, is a couple of short videos. In the first video, I'm just going to show how the game is set up and do a little overview of the rules, how it plays, and then my second video is going to be a complete playthrough. That's what we're going to do. So if we have a look in these rules, we've got some setup instructions, we've got some how to play instructions, some instructions for the fighting, and then some examples of play. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty brief. Let me show you how the game is set up. What we do is we pick one of 4 character types. We've got a hero, a barbarian, a magician, and a dwarf. And the only real difference between them is the balance of health to defense is different. So I've been playing with the hero. Maybe we'll set up the dwarf today. So each character has 2 stats, health and defense. Health is represented by the hearts over here, and defense is represented by the clubs. So we have got the hearts and clubs numbered 1 through 9 here. I guess 9 is the maximum number of health you could have. I've never got to have 9 health or defense, so I don't know if that's even possible. Maybe it isn't. The dwarf has 5 health, so we just take the 5 of hearts so we know what health our character has, and the dwarf has 3 defense, so we're going to take the 3 of clubs to represent that. That's the character set up. In fact, that's basically the whole game set up. There's really nothing else to do. Over here we've got 2 decks of cards. These cards here, this is the I guess the step deck. They dictate the rate at which you move through the encounters in the game. This is made up of the 10, Jack, Queen and King of every suit, and they're worth 1, 2, 3 and 4 steps of progression each. So the Jack is worth 2 steps of progression, so if we drew that we would progress 2 steps through the story. The Queen is worth 3 steps, the King is worth 4 steps, and the 10 is worth 1 step. The numbers in this deck add up to the values of the cards that we are attributing to the cards add up to 40. And in each adventure there are a total of 40 small encounters. So theoretically, it's not theoretical, pretty sure about this, when you draw the last card from the step deck, it will take you to the final encounter of the adventure that you are playing. So that's the step deck, and then this is the fighting deck, the attack deck, and this contains all cards that are not in the step deck and not in these two over here. So it's just a whole bunch of all of the other cards, ranging from 1 through to 9 in the diamonds and the spades. That's our attack deck that we'll use when we are having fights. So that's pretty much everything set up. So if that's the rules, this is a little adventure. So let me show you this particular adventure. So this is one of the adventures that the game comes with. This one's called Misa, or Curious Mercenaries. It's a beginner level adventure designed by, as I think the actual game is designed. I should have said this straight off the bat really. The game is designed, and this particular adventure for Deathly Thrones is designed by Josselin Loizeau. I hope I've pronounced your name right, Josselin. And yeah, let's have a look inside. So these, by the way, these little booklets are they're just put together with a single sheet of A4 that you then fold in a particular way to make these little booklets, which are quite cute. So every adventure has a starting paragraph, then 20 encounters, followed by a midpoint paragraph, and then a final 20 encounters and a final paragraph. So the structure of all of them is always going to be the same. Each step has a step number, a type of encounter. So I think that you either have encounters where you gain health or defense, encounters where you lose health or defense, and fighting encounters, I think. Let me just check that. Yeah, you have fighting encounters, being hurt by something encounters, and taking a rest encounters. Then you've got a name for each encounter. These columns are for the attack and defense of the enemies who you would fight. Then you've got an outcome, which is just a sort of little bit of flavor text, and then a result if the encounter would allow you to regain health or defense value. And that's pretty much it really. So why don't we just play through a couple of rounds. We'll play through a couple of rounds, and then I'll come back with another video and we'll play through an entire adventure, probably a different one to this one because I've already played this one a couple of times. Right, so let's read out the introduction. You've been travelling for 13 days now, through forests and mountains. You're travelling with a group of other mercenaries, just like you, in 2 wagons pulled by 4 horses. One wagon carries most of the mercenaries, while the other holds what they were hired to protect. What's inside the second wagon? 2 large wooden boxes. What's inside the boxes? You don't know. Who hired you? You don't know. You just received money and a missive with the rendezvous inside. None of your fellow soldiers of fortune seem to know more. The only thing you know right now is that there are strange movements and noises in the bushes along the road. This probably means you'll be under attack in less than a minute. Right. So let's get straight into it. We'll play until we've completed a fight, I think, is what we'll do. So we turn over a step card, and that's a jack, so that has a value of 2. Remember, 10 has a value of 1, jack 2, queen 3, king 4. So we go 2 steps from where we are. Where are we? We haven't started yet, so we go to step 2. Step 2 is a take a rest action. We're just going to be sitting on the wagon. So we're getting ready, we're drawing our bow, which gives us an additional 1 defense. So in this game, all weapons and armor simply add to the value of your defense. So we're increasing our defense by 1. When I've been playing this game, I sort of keep a little running commentary of what's going on. So you can flesh out the adventure into a small story if you're inclined to take the sort of RPG approach to the game. So I've been making small notes. I'm not going to do that today. So that is event 2. We were just sitting in the wagon, we drew our bow. With that done, we move on to the next step, and that is 3. So we count on 3. We are on 2. 1, 2, 3 takes us to step 5, which is a fight an enemy step. So this enemy is a peasant. They have got a health of 2 and no defense at all. Okay, so this is how the fighting goes. Let me pop this up here for a second. Right, we draw from the attack deck. The first card we draw is added to our health, because our health, or health in this game, represents both health and strength. So as your health goes down, your strength or your ability to take down opponents also goes down. So let's do that. We've got a 3, not particularly high. The second card represents the attack value, or is added to the health of the enemy to represent their attack value. Ooh, and that's big. All right. So my attack value is, these are attack numbers, we add them to create attack value, sorry, attack power. So my attack power is 8, the peasant's attack power is 9 plus their base health of 2, so 11. So the peasant has beaten me by 3. Which is annoying. I didn't really expect that to happen, to be honest. So what we need to do now is we either take that 3 away from our defense or from our health. And obviously we're going to be taking it from our defense. So that's pretty brutal. That's a brutal start to the game. Luckily, I won't be playing this one through. So that little peasant just took down my defense from 4 to 1. Pretty annoying. Let's have another go. So because neither of us died, we need to play another round. We're going to start with my attack number. Oh, it's low again. 2. And the peasant, really? Maybe I should have rigged this to go a little bit easier. This is ridiculous. Okay, so once again, my attack power is 7. The peasant's attack power is 11 again. So they've beaten me by 4. Is that right? Yeah, by 4. So I'm going to once again use my defense. Excess attack power isn't passed on to the health, so that one level of defense has absorbed all of the attack of the peasant in this round. Let's hope this starts going a little bit better in my favour. Alright, so now, this is ridiculous, isn't it? 6. So my attack power is 6, and the peasant's attack power is 5. Because 3 plus 2 is their basic. Cool. So mine's 6, theirs is 5. The difference is 1, which means that the peasant is taking 1 point of damage. That's going to go on their health, which is reducing the peasant's health from 2 to 1. Cool. So hopefully this is the final round and this is going to sort everything out. So my attack power is 11 and the peasant's attack power is 8. Difference between 11 and 8 is 2, is 3. Good maths there. Is 3. And because the peasant only has a health of 1, the peasant has been defeated. That was way more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Alright, let's have a quick look to see if we get anything for that. Was it peasant 4 or 5? I can't remember. Should be able to work it out, shouldn't I? 2 plus 3. So it's 5. Okay, so look at that. We get a gambeson, which I had to look up. I didn't know what a gambeson was. It's sort of a smock that's worn under armour. So we've taken the peasant's gambeson, which gives us +1 defence. So I regain 1 defence, and I'm ready to go on to the next step. And that's pretty much all there is to it, I would say. Yeah. Any questions, throw them in the comments below. Please like this video, subscribe if this is the sort of content you enjoy, and hit the bell notification button. I will put a link to the Deathly Thrones website in the description below. Yeah, I've been the Lone Adventurer. Hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video for a complete playthrough of Deathly Thrones.